Hello everyone, welcome to your second royal reading on a rather noisy Friday afternoon here where I am. Birds shouting at Fluffy, who's out in the garden, little coughing Jack Russell, neighbours swimming, carousing, all happening here at MadWorldTarot. I am continuing now with the smear campaign story, so I'm sticking with the Mind's Eye Tarot for this reading. We're in a kind of a murky world, and of this alleged smear campaign that people adjacent to Meghan Markle claim was run by the royal family and the British press against Meghan Markle. We're going to have a look at this. We're going to do a compare and contrast thing. Royals on the one side, Meghan on the other side. Did the royals run a smear campaign against Meghan? Did Meghan run a smear campaign against the royals? In particular, we would say William and Catherine in this. We want to test this because, as I say, there are people out there on social media and even journalists writing articles saying that Meghan was a victim of a smear campaign. So we want to just test this. Was she? Or perhaps were the royals victims of smear campaigns? I can think of things like the Where's Kate thing and the K space Kate thing. All of those are pretty nasty, pretty toxic. So we're going to have a look at this. It's tricky territory, so right off the bat, I have to say that this is just tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all speculation. It's all my opinion. I'm just reading energy here with some very slick cards that are flying all over and off the tarot table even. And there is a disclaimer in the box below. Of course, please do your own research, form your own opinions. I have to go under the tarot table. Temperance card was under the tarot table. The Peacemaker, interestingly, balance, harmony. The little quote that I found was interesting when I decided to do this reading was a quote from someone on X, a Meghan Markle supporter, who said, "All roads lead to Prince William." One could say, in terms of running smear campaigns, Prince William ran so that Justin Baldoni could walk. And for those of you who don't know who Justin Baldoni is, he's the one who has allegedly run a smear campaign against Blake Lively. And it's that story that is prompting my readings today. Not a royal story, but a bandwagon that potentially could be climbed on by for instance, Meghan herself. So that's what we're doing today. Royals on the left, Meghan on the right. We're going to ask if there were smear campaigns or campaigning, briefing, that kind of stuff. We're going to ask how the public sees each party in this situation, sees the royals victim or perpetrators, Meghan victim or perpetrator. We're going to ask long-term harm or impact on reputation for the royals and for Meghan of any alleged smear campaigns by the other side, and or of their own doing. We're just going to see what tarot wants to tell us. We're going to look at the outcome. Prince William versus Meghan. There they are. Prince William on the left, Meghan on the right. She or her supporters seem to think that Prince William was the one that was really having a go. And we've got the High Priestess as our underlying energy in this reading. High Priestess is, of course, mysteries, secrets, your intuition, and secrets being revealed when it's in reverse. A silence that suddenly speaks. Could also be using dark arts against someone. So it has a bit of a smear campaign energy, that High Priestess in reverse, because it's a very high level of spin, of manipulation that's possible in that High Priestess energy in reverse that people might not suspect. Maybe only finding out about now. And it wouldn't surprise me, I have to say, if the royals were seen to be briefing against Meghan and Harry, and they do have communications teams. They are all about preserving their reputations and their wealth and all of that. So, of course, there are going to be media briefings and things like that that might be perceived as being rather hostile to people who, in their own right, have been rather hostile to the royals. Let's just say all of that, in my opinion, a little bit off center this reading. Sorry about that. I can't see the screen directly when I'm looking at the tarot table. So all a bit of a mess. I'm out of practice. A couple of days off and things go haywire. Anyway, situation. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with the Three of Wands. We're dealing with sending out messages and waiting for them to grow and bear fruit. Absolutely. It's third parties involved with the Three of Wands very often, getting together on some sort of enterprise, and off you go, hoping that whatever you're doing is going to expand and grow. So it's messaging, and even the Dark Arts High Priestess in reverse, it's messaging that's going to go out and be picked up, because it's about spreading things. The Three of Wands is spreading things in a hope that they are going to bear fruit. So that's interesting. So as I said, either side could be doing this. I'm not saying one or other, probably both. But let's have a look and see what the universe wants to tell us about the royal side of things. We're talking about smear campaigns, campaigning against the other royals, the royal side. What's going on with them? I've got a little team here. Three of Pentacles. So that would be the in-house communications team. And I'm not saying that they are guilty of a smear campaign against Meghan Markle. I'm simply saying that there is a team. And so the team would be the ones who would notice and comment. And I had to pause briefly there and rush after a little senile Jack Russell who might have been doing things in the house he should rather be doing outside, shall we just say. Anyway, back. Three of Pentacles. The communications team would be on high alert for things that they would need to correct, to brief, to respond to in the media. I don't see sinister energy in the Three of Pentacles. It's not a sinister card at all. So I don't think behind the scenes nastiness, vicious agenda, malice, any of those things. That's not what's coming through here. It's giving me more of a responsive energy than an active, malicious energy. So that's my opinion. That's on the royal side. How about Meghan's side? Smear campaigns, allegedly, whether through herself directly or through people who support her and have taken it upon themselves to do this. What's coming from this side, my opinion, of course, and just speculating. We've got the Emperor, marching orders. Now that's a completely different energy to the Three of Pentacles. It's much more direct, it's much more action oriented, it's much more commanding. Again, it's not a very sinister or toxic card, but it's much more powerful. It's like, we need to do this, we need to get PR behind us. So it would be things like WME, signing up with them. They had Sunshine Sacks before, until there seemed to have been a fallout over unpaid amounts, allegedly. But it's getting those kinds of heavy hitters behind Harry and Meghan to brief and to send out their message, promoting themselves, organized promotion of themselves, because Emperor is about organized. It's a command energy, it's a management energy, very high powered. It's as high powered as it can be, higher than the royal family in a sense, because it's coming from Hollywood heavy hitters who really can control the way people are viewed. It's interesting to me that Harry seems to think that his father can click his fingers and get the Daily Mail to print nice things about him and Meghan, or to shut down certain things, or he can command the government to give him full-time security 24/7, and the king saying, actually I can't, I'm a constitutional monarch and this is not how things roll here. Harry doesn't get it. Whereas here, Emperor energy, very powerful messaging coming from Harry and Meghan's side. And I'm putting Harry into this mix because this was going on when Harry was around and hadn't jumped off the tarot table as he did in the previous reading. Knight of Pentacles jumped off the tarot table. So let's have a look and see how the public sees this. Do they see the royals as victims of a smear campaign or perpetrators of a smear campaign? We're going to try and figure this one out. quite a tricky question to ask. I've got the King of Wands, and it's in reverse. I would say more victim than perpetrator. King of Wands upright would be more like the Emperor energy over here, more directive, more of a doing energy, sending that spin out, that messaging out powerfully. It's in reverse. That feels to me, the reversed energy feels like it's coming at them. They're more passive in the situation, that people are looking at them and saying, why don't you fight back? Why are you tolerating this? Why are you allowing this? We go back to the Oprah interview, and the king, the now king, Charles, wanted to rebut every point, and the queen, the late queen, said, no, you can't, that's not what we do. And all that came out was Recollections May Vary, which now seems like a PR master class or masterpiece, but at the time seemed very weak and very unsatisfactory for people who were royal family supporters. So that's what's coming through for me there with the King of Wands in reverse. How about this side, the Meghan or the Sussex side? More Meghan than Sussex. Victims of a smear campaign or perpetrators of a smear campaign, as far as the public is concerned. Justice in reverse. And I'm going to say, this is my personal opinion, justice in reverse is that they are perpetrators of this. It's unjust behavior. You could read it quite differently, and there will be people shouting in the comments that they're victims of unequal behavior, unfair behavior, illegal behavior, all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to read this myself and say that for me, this justice card in reverse tells me personally that the public looks at what Harry and Meghan have done and thinks that it's unfair. And I'm not basing that on nothing at all, on thin air. I'm basing it on things like Harry and Meghan now being the most loathed celebrities, according to the ranker voting that's been going on, and I think has now finished. Meghan first, Harry second, most loathed, even ahead of people like Diddy and Oprah and Ellen and all the rest of them. So I think that I'm quite justified in saying justice in reverse tells me that the public think that Harry and Meghan have been the ones who have been unfair to the royals rather than the other way around. That's my personal opinion. Of course, you are welcome to disagree and form your own opinion. So, a long-term impact of smear. We're calling it smear campaigns because that's what these kinds of things are being called at the moment in the press. Long-term impact on the royal family as victim. It's going to do damage. Are they going to survive it? The Fool, it's actually going to give them a fresh start, a new beginning, a change. And they're going to emerge looking innocent, looking quite fresh and ready to start a new cycle with the public, a new chapter, a new beginning with the public. Things had got pretty stale. Late Queen had been on the throne for 70 years. She had a certain way of doing things. She was quite old-fashioned, obviously, in her way of being. It worked. But it was possibly a time for a change. And we're getting a change now with this Fool energy. Okay, we're going to do things differently. We're giving you a clean slate here, royals. And you do things differently now. You're going to be more adventurous in the way you handle things. You're going to be, take more risks maybe. Just do things differently. And they've been given the opportunity. It's a lovely card, the Fool, in this kind of energy because it is a fresh beginning. Clears all the old out, all the weakness, the perceived weakness that I'm seeing in that King of Wands in reverse there. You get a fresh start. And I like that energy. I think it's very positive. How about the Sussexes on the other side here? And of course, speculative reading, just reading energy. Them as perceived, I'm going to say perpetrators. How's that going to affect their reputation as an outcome, an energy as an outcome? Six of Swords in reverse, sorry for the loud birds who are eating and shouting at Fluffy. He's hovering around while they are having their evening meal. Six of Swords in reverse is not going to be able to extricate themselves easily from this association, whether they're innocent or guilty of all of this. We're reading energy here, cards are showing up, I'm interpreting the energy, and that's what I'm getting. It's going to be difficult for them to extricate themselves from this association. And it's of course the overseas card as well. So if they wanted to come back, or one of them wanted to not come back, because of course I'm nowhere near the UK, they wanted to go back home to the UK, it would be difficult, because this would go with them, the stain, this reputational harm, say. And of course this is not an accusation, it's an interpretation of energy. Six of Swords. So a very much more positive outcome from the royals on that side. Six of Swords in reverse on this side for the Sussexes. And outcome for William versus Meghan. I wanted to put their energy on the table and see what happens. And we get William as the Hierophant. That's him there on the royal side. That is him as king, taking over the royal energy in due course as the monarch, as the very powerful energy, the representative of church and state in that energy, top of the hierarchy, the Hierophant, and coming through as somebody who's taken the high road. It's a very interesting aspect of the Hierophant that I don't often talk about in these royal readings, but it's about doing the right thing and being seen to be doing the right thing. And most of the questions that I'm asking in here are really about public perception and how it's going to play out. And the Hierophant upright is seen as doing the right thing, taking the high road. I read that little quote about all roads lead to Prince William, that in terms of running smear campaigns, Prince William ran so that Justin Baldoni could walk. That comes from a sugar or a squatty on social media, and this tells me that in terms of public perception and in terms of actual truth of behavior, Prince William emerges clean from this whole thing. He emerges looking like he did the right thing. He played this game honestly. He was not guilty of any smear campaigns. That's my personal opinion. Reading the energy of the card. Lovely card there. Meghan gets the Nine of Cups in reverse. It's the dreams and visions, the vision board card. Indulgent energy, quite spoiled energy and pampered energy when it's in reverse. Dream didn't come true. So she gets whatever she hoped for, whatever she imagined, however she thought life was going to go as a member of the British royal family. And this is something she seems to have harbored in her dreams for life since she was a teenager. Watched Princess Diana's funeral, cried watching it, had read books on Princess Diana, had, I think, posters of, I think, Prince William on her bedroom wall, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, I apologize. But something that she's wanted for a long time, she's dreamed about. Of course, the spin was she knew nothing about the royal family, never Googled, never thought to inquire. I'm getting a very different picture with that Nine of Cups in reverse. I'm getting like a long-term plan, a goal, a dream. It's in reverse. Dog's coughing. I'm going to stop it there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.